Welcome to the Hmong Peeps Show, the one and only show that brings you ordinary people sharing extraordinary insights. Well, maybe. Here is your host, Chew Effin Lee.
Hey, what's going on, folks? Welcome to the Hmong Peeps Show. This is Chew. Not much happened this past week, except for that one shooting that occurred last Saturday. Again, another cop has killed another black man. I saw the video. I don't know if you guys saw it, but to me it looked like the guy was running away from the cop, so I don't see how there was any danger in the guy running away from the cop and making the cop feeling like his life was in danger. That just doesn't make sense to me. When somebody's running away from you, to me it would indicate that danger is going away, right? I mean, I guess people can argue that, when they're running away, maybe they are trying to create distance so they can inflict danger on you. Maybe that's what the cop was thinking. I don't know, but it's an unfortunate situation all around, no matter how you look at it. We keep hearing more and seeing more of these stories that flash on the news, and man, I don't know what to say, but to me, I still believe that if you comply, you follow the cops' instructions, you will live to see another day. I mean, you might go to jail or you might go to prison, depending on, I guess, whatever illegal substance you might have on you, or what kind of crime you committed before the cop stopped you. But if you comply, it's very unlikely that you're going to get shot. So I still stand by that. I think it's common sense, but who am I to say, right? All right. Well, this past week I had a couple of friends come over to hang out with me, and we spent a few hours just talking about spirituality. And what I wanted to share with you guys is part of our conversation. We talked about how he told me a story about meeting a person, and this person wanted to become a shaman, and it sounded like they were trying to become a shaman overnight. If not overnight, then they wanted to become a shaman very fast. And the issue was, well, it's really not an issue, but we ended up talking about the pros and cons of people wanting to just dive into opening up spiritually, whether it's a shaman or just a regular gifted person. So the good thing I saw out of this story was it makes me happy when I hear of people waking up to their spirituality. So the spiritual awakening piece, I'm all for that. The part that makes me a little bit nervous for some people is, do they really know what they're getting into? Because I think a lot of people, they don't really know or think about the bad things that come along with opening up spiritually. Now, I've said this before and I'll say it again. When you open up spiritually and you start to see and sense spirits or energy, it's not always seeing angels and good spirits or sensing good energy. You're gonna encounter ghosts, demons, and bad energy overall. So I think a lot of folks who dig into this deep right away, they don't realize that it's not always, rose petals. You're going to be walking on fire sometimes. It can get dangerous. But, so for a lot of you guys out there who are thinking about pursuing your spiritual development, I'm all for it. I really encourage, and I'll be your biggest fan, your biggest cheerleader. But I just want to throw it out there to, I guess you want to call it a reality check, is that you will not always be encountering positive things. be seeing some pretty bad things and sensing some pretty bad things. Now, the ability to sense and see bad things, to me, it's not a curse, or nor is it bad either. I think if you're able to see ghosts, see demons, feel their presence, think of it as it's a way of protection as well. Because if you see and sense these negative energy, guess what? Get the hell out of there, right? Imagine if you weren't able to see or sense bad energy, and you keep going into these nasty, draining environments. And you'll never know why am I having a bad headache all of a sudden, or you come home from wherever you went, whichever establishment you were at, and you come home and you just feel like uneasy. You might not know what happened, but if you're able to sense and see negative energy, you can connect the two. Maybe you can prevent yourself from actually going into those establishments that are full of negative energy. That way you can come home, or stay away before you even get any type of spiritual attacks or attachments, right? All right, so think about that. Now, I want to also share with you guys, yesterday I had a session with this person, and I met her children. 2 young girls, 10-year-old and a 7-year-old. I won't disclose their names, but just for confidentiality purposes and just for respect of who they are. But the seeker came, and she brought her daughters with her, and towards the end of the session, I got a chance to speak with the daughters, and they are extremely spiritually gifted. Now, they said some things that really was really powerful to me. And as a reader and a spiritual person who keeps doing this work, we know we're connected to our source, to our guides. We know that already. But it's so nice and so refreshing to hear little children confirm for you, and that's what happened to me yesterday. So, one of the little girls said something that was very, very powerful to me. She said to me, "I see God through you." Think about that for a second. I see God through you. And how I took it was, she's confirming that I am a tool, a channel, a platform where God uses me to help others. So if she's able to see God through me, that again is just a validation for me. I mean, I don't need it, but again, it's so awesome to hear every now and then when other gifted people are able to see that, or they don't even have to be that gifted, but they can pick up on these things. And let alone a 7-year-old saying that. She was 7. And then she also said to me, she saw a lot of angels around me. Great. That's cool. And then her older sister, she's 10 years old. She said she sees wings on me. Great. That was kind of my reaction. Like, good. That I'm glad you're able to see that. It's so awesome that little children can see these things. Now, to me, and in my opinion, I think it's so important for us as adults to nurture children who are gifted. I think it is just so important. If you think about our journey, right? Our journey as spiritual, beings, or human beings at first, and as we try to unlock what was blocked when we were younger. We were all gifted when we were very young, but because of how the adults around us spoke to us and reacted to our reports of seeing or sensing spirits or energy, they blocked our gifts. We started to believe them. We started to believe that it was just our imagination. And then here we are years later into our adult stage of life, and we're trying to unlock our gifts or our abilities. So my message to you guys is, if you guys know gifted children, whether they be yours, your nieces, nephews, cousins, who cares? Who cares how they relate to you? But if you see them and they are talking to you about how they're seeing ghosts, seeing spirits, seeing God, seeing angels, don't tell them that it's in their imagination. Ask them more questions. Ask them questions that are thought-provoking. For example, when you see them, what do they do? What do they say? What do they say about you? Or are they here? Are they here? Do you see them now? Okay, and if you see them, what are they saying? What are they doing? Can you ask them? You can almost you can even maybe try to get a free reading out of them, I guess. Can you ask those angels what they see about me? Or can you ask that spirit to see if they have any messages for me? So this way, I believe it's a nurturing approach to helping children not block out their spiritual abilities. So I strongly encourage you guys to nurture children around you who know are gifted. Okay, so that was a very it was a very fun session that I had yesterday with those two young girls. But I think they're in good hands. Their mother is a very spiritual person as well, and I have confidence that she's going to do the right thing and nurture their gifts. And I think that was one of my main messages to her yesterday, was to nurture your children's spiritual abilities. So that's it for today, folks. Have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Take care.